I love Hungarians, and today we will fulfill their destiny. As Almos Arpad in 867, we're going to go on a massive plunder adventure in CK3 and find our way into our new home, the Pannonian Basin. It won't be easy, and more importantly, maybe something crazy will happen while we do this. Let's find out. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, King Almos of the Magyars. He is the absolute mogging king, and today we're going to take him on the journey westwards, playing out what the Hungarians effectively were, well, historically speaking, an absolute menace, a terror, a horror, the worst of the worst. Some even say that they are that even today, but well, let's just put all of that aside, because what we want to focus on today is the story of the Hungarian invasions, or as they call it so lovingly, the Hungarian adventures. Now with the DLC Khans of the Steppe, we are getting a bunch of things that we can do there with our new nomadic ruler here, King Almos. He is of course a great one, but I will tell you of course that many of the historical details cannot be played out the way that they did play out historically, but I will tell you about them nonetheless in this particular video. So today we're gonna have some roleplay where we go as the Magyars right here to the Pannonian Basin, and we're going to talk about what they did historically and why they did it. Now first things first, of course, we set everything up the way we do. Why don't we go with chivalry? I think that is completely fine. Steppe Lords, it's the obvious choice. Is there even any question about it? We are an absolute Steppe Lord right there. If you're asking yourself, by the way, why I'm not at war with Bulgaria, there is a gameplay rule that makes it so that you can effectively invade whenever you want to, or you should be able to do that if the developers of CK3 didn't forget to update this decision. I'm just gonna do this via the console to bypass the requirements, and they just are treating me as if I am tribal, which I'm not, so let's just forget about this. We're gonna click that decision whenever we get to it. For the time being, let's just take in who we are. Historically speaking, the Magyars are said to have come from roughly over there. You know this maybe even today, that they speak a Finno-Ugric language, which means that they are in the language family of the Finns and the Sami, I think the Sami as well, all the way up over there. They started over here and then migrated along this route until they ended up in Etelkurs right here. I believe this is the old Magyaria right there. But basically in Etelkurs, they lived for quite some time. They did a bunch of adventures. And then eventually, and we don't really know why, there are many different explanations, they were pushing themselves into the Pannonian Basin. So today we're going to go plunder, we're going to go raid, and we're going to hopefully be a lot more successful than the historical Magyars. Listen, I love the Byzantines, but I absolutely desire to crush them today. Let's set ourselves up right here. It shouldn't be too difficult. Of course, people aren't obedient right away. I'm not planning on dying anytime soon, so I can just leave them where they are right there. We also do have Shepherd Ghazi right here, who is indeed one of the people that take care of the land here. Is this already fully filled? Oh, almost. You know what? I'm already immediately going to revoke his title and then hand it over. Classic demand pasture land stuff right here. And then boom, we're gonna abandon this one, the Lower Dnieper, and then immediately, of course, demand him as tributary. That is completely fine. You know, it is the roundabout way. This is just how that works, making it so that we are now making slightly more herd. Because, well, if you do want to raid, you do have to have herd. Now, luckily, I don't really need to worry too much about the politics of the steppe. We are looking at potentially a blessing of the blue sky, and he is actually good in aptitude, so we might be getting the perfect season in 877. But right now, hey, I mean, we are in everlasting summer. Good God, I wouldn't want to be in the central steppe. That is severe drought. Yeah, that would be absolutely horrendous. No, I am quite happy with where we are, which means that we can just prosper and raid a little bit before we do our migration, because that is literally what they did historically. At the time, and I know that in gameplay this of course isn't really well reflected, East Francia, Great Moravia and the Roman Empire were wrestling over this region in particular. When we take a look at, for example, East Francia, they for the very longest time had marches that still were actually originating from the Carolingian period here in Balaton, Slavonia and Croatia. Great Moravia had at this point already risen as its very own strong entity and would kind of pick and choose its side, but mostly oppose the East Frankians, who then relatively often actually called in the Magyars to fight their wars. Yeah, I would like to call for an assembly because my stargazer is incredibly important and I want him to tell us what these stars tell us. Yari, I believe, is our capital. Yeah, okay, I like that. Let's take a look at this. The ritual of the land. Konrad. Your name is Konrad? Okay, well, so this is a German name that they do use, but it's not a Magyar name. Anyway, he seeks to the sky, chanting verses detailing his devotion to Boldogajoni. Let us now remember how those that came before us took good care of this land, he says, inviting others to share advice. What did our grandfathers learn about the newborn lamb? What did our grand aunts say about the soil? And see, this is something that the game does not feature at all. I really wish it did, because this diarchy would be really cool, but historically the Magyars and the Khazars, for example, as well, actually were a permanent diarchy. These two positions are called Kunde and Gyula, Kunde being the religious and Gyula being the military one, and we have no idea which one Almos actually held. Now in the future, these would actually be unified as the Prince of the Magyars. Arpad I think may have been the first one to hold both of these titles in unison. We have a similar thing with the Khazars, who also had the Sacral King, so again the holy person and then the military leader. I think here it was called Kagan and Bek. Those were two different titles in that sense. At some point or another, these kind of constructs would end and only one person or one faction would emerge as a crystallized leader of the people. Now in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a good look at Konrad whenever I take a decision and say, hey, if there's anything cruel to do, Konrad would probably say the gods want me to do it. Now let's take a look at this fertility assembly right here. A great gathering happened in this county and everyone shared their knowledge with the pastoralists. Very, very nice. I'm actually going to go ahead and recruit some horse archers as well. I want to look at least a little bit more frightening. I do like these bonuses here. We can upgrade this sooner rather than later. I really want to go much more heavily into this development right here. The additional night bonus, the square of the tomb and all of that stuff is amazing. I just need to pay for it. Oh, and of course, I almost forgot. We do have our very own tent right here. Pariah of court. I'm judged harshly for my hospitality towards Mutlu the criminal. That's my wife. She is a Tengri Pecheneg. My grandson is just dancing. Linutica, if I am not entirely wrong here, was actually a historically accounted for grandson of Almos. And then we have Tarkatsus, also a historical one. Ibolia, not so sure. Anyway, people hate my wife. Oh my god, they are willing to let me kill her. Are you guys crazy? It's because she's a Tengri, I suppose, which... yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna kill her. I'm gonna take a stress break and maybe get rid of some of my actual prestige as king. Let's see what the stress break brings. Don't really like either of those. Yes, spending money is just kind of uninteresting. I'm gonna eat more stress. Maybe I will become ever more stressed out. Oh, and she did refuse conversion. Yeah, that does not bode well with our guards. I'm absolutely sure of it. But you know what will bode well with our guards? I think raiding will bode well. So... why don't we raise everybody, go on an adventure here. Technically, actually, let's go on capture, because I only want to raid my neighbors here. We're going to do a lot of adventure raiding, trust me. Let's go out of our way to claim a couple of things here. You are busy, which means I can probably actually harass you. Let's make our son the actual leader here as well. He's not amazing, but he needs to become better, that's for sure. And he is a plunderer. I like a lot of these new positions. I think we're well equipped now. I could obviously fill these out even more. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right now we're fighting a battle here. Arpad is earning himself some dignity and honor. Oh, and I didn't even realize, but I am now raiding within Khazar territory. Right, I left Gunagada. For some reason I assumed that was part of it, but obviously that's not the case. I think that these folks don't have contracts that makes them protected by the Khazars, so that means they're open season. Oh, and the Bulgarians are having a bit of a rebellion. You know what that means. Arpad, get back on that horse. And get better at fighting. It's time for us to pillage the Bulgarians. And I think for this one, I'm actually going to set this to adventure. I want to go at least relatively deep here, I think. Ooh, and my antiquarian has turned Bertok into an adventurer. Are you good at it? He is legendary! Yes. I need to pay you. I want to... oh my god, 142. I need more money so that he can make the journey. Wait a minute, where's he actually going? I missed that. He wants to go to Northern Africa. Hell yeah. Go where no Magyar has ever gone before. I really do like this building a lot. Look at these bonuses. The army movement speed alone is utterly unhinged. We cannot fill our men-at-arms regiments to begin with, so this is not that great. But man, the raid speed, the archer cavalry damage and so on. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. And now take a look at the Khazars right here. They do actually like us. Like I said, we aren't too different. Fundamentally, we have a similar structure, and it is, of course, rumored as well that the Magyars picked up the dual kingdom business from the Khazars, who also had it. But historically speaking, the Khazars were pressure, right? They were pushing westwards, they wanted to extend their reach, and that is one of the reasons why the Magyars ultimately settled in the Pannonian Basin. At least that is what we say. I always need to stress this. For the Magyars, as cool as their history is, there's so much that we just can't say, whether it is true, whether it is false, just because the records are very spotty, and often were written, well, much later than the Magier's existence. Alright, now let's pick this up as well, large loot sacks. It's an insane building, to be honest with you. But I think loot is not what I'm here for right now. I'm actually gonna go ahead and bring this fella under tribute. I could try to go even further. Let me just double check this. He is not part of the steppe. No, he's not. Okay. In which case, I will simply put him under tribute. I want them to be afraid. I don't care too much about anything else here. Let's raid our other neighbor right here, Bukovina. I think I'm gonna raid them, hopefully beat their troops, and then declare a war indeed for everything they got. I want them to become my tributary here. And there they are. Surely I can only win this one, right? Oh, yeah. Easily as well. Oof, that hurts, buddy. That's real painful for you. And why don't we go to Harlech here to raid as well? We also captured a child. Don't really care. Might execute this one. The most popular topic of conversation in court is ever changing, but one recent trend has been the discussion of my notable skill as a military commander. Again, in this timeline, we are the Gula rather than the Kunda. I'm going to say that I'm unrelenting. Absolutely. I am a force to be reckoned with. I even safeguarded my wife against the voices at court. It is funny though that I'm not the one raiding, because I want my son to get this Marauder trait up as quickly as possible, and he already got 1 level. That's nice. And you know what? I think I might just push a little bit further west here now to get some more money. Man, look at the Poles. They are plundered. They are completely terrorized. There might not be a big point in pushing west. Oh, then again, the Pannonian Basin is awfully safe. How many troops do you have? Plenty, but you are at war. You know what? Let's push into the lands of the Moravians. Yeah, Nitra here looks like a very worthwhile province. I can basically skip anything that isn't worthwhile. Oh, this entire border area right here. Look at Pressburg. Look at Wien. Wien is 20 bucks. Are you at war, buddy? Oh, he is not strong, though. Wait, what about the Duke of Bavaria? I'm gonna raid Wien. Absolutely. Let's push further west than we ever have. First we are in Wien, and then I think we push into the capital of the Moravians. Oh, I love raiding. My god, this guy is inspiring so many people to go out. I'm going to go and sponsor Bear Talk. Please bring me something amazing. I want a great artifact that justifies no longer remaining in this steppe. We are now already at 8,400 herd. I'm sure that they are much further, but if I did do one of these, you know, sneaky little humiliation wars, we could push them down very easily. Although I feel like the historical Magyars would not be able to do this. They would get mogged by Manasseh II right here. They were incredibly powerful. And here is something interesting. High Chieftain Mstislav of Bukovina is fighting off, there he is, the Prince Dox of Bulgaria. I think I'm going to offer my services. I did raid you, don't get me wrong, but this right here is a lot of money that I would love to have. And I'm actually going to send my son for this as well. Yeah, let's crush him. This is money easy earned, and it is completely within the bounds of what the Magyars did, of course. Oh, and we captured Magistrat Wilhelm of Wien. Oh, I almost forgot about this, by which I mean I literally forgot about this. I turned the Carolingians administrative. I'm going to sell you. Thanks for the money, pal. And here we come, folks. We are incredibly fast, and I think I can even speed this up a little bit further. Yeah, check this out. Cavalry training, that stuff. It's just insane. Being so fast should probably be illegal. Easiest clap of my life. Did I get enough? Oh yeah, my war contribution is high enough. We're gonna get a big payday here. What? He brought me the sword of Muhammad? Are you kidding? Thank you. That is incredible. We also won the war. Okay, I am now the proud owner of one real sword of Muhammad. That is insane. I might have to turn Muslim. This might be a sign. Let's ransom this guy. And then I'm immediately going to turn around. Listen, we just helped Bukovina, right? They paid us big as well. But you know, as a nomad, you're just never actually not hungry. I need you to be under my tribute. So this is very common. We see this in all types of societies where once your troops are there, you either start pillaging or you start taking control. King Louis II, our King Louis here of Italy, had in southern Italy when he went to Bari, the local Langobard lords that actually called him in, ultimately imprisoned him and kicked him out because he was threatening to station his troops in their forts, properly turning them into vassals down here. And, well, Bukovina, you can't protect yourself, so obviously you need a protector. And in this case, that is going to be me. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I've been playing for 7 years, and I've already upgraded everything you need to level 3, then the internal buildings, to make us incredibly fast, and our horse archers incredibly deadly. Oh, and check this out. Now that I turned this military assistance thing that I can request and can be offered to support as long as I am nomad, other nomads can offer this to me as well. I'm gonna decline this one, but I love that. That is so much more interactive. Normally, you only fight your own battles, because why have alliances when people are just gonna migrate away? I like this a lot more. What time is it? Oh, that's right. I have enough troops to raid Bulgaria proper. Let's do our first full southern expedition. And while we are out, King Dir has indeed raided us. Did he like imprison me or something? No, he didn't. Okay, I will avenge this. I will crush him where he stands. Once we return home, he imprisoned my grandson. Unacceptable. He will get crushed. For the time being, our armies are to the south. He must have known this. We are deep, deep in Bulgaria, who do not have the troops to oppose me. I'm going to rotate around here. I'm even going to go into their capital and then kind of tease the Byzantines, maybe a little bit at least. I think the time is nigh of us becoming incredibly strong. Let's follow the roads here and make sure that we actually capture the Bulgarian king. At least that would be the dream. No Bulgarian Tsardom for you, my friend. I died? I died randomly. Excuse me? Well, that's fascinating. As he is raiding down in Bulgaria, his father dies, and the message hits him with incredible power because he just didn't know. And now apparently, as I am on my way home, still in Bulgaria, the people underneath me, especially the worthless Wenzel the Honest, impotently try to corral the beasts he himself had startled, and now they are running off to Kagan Manasseh II. I have a grudge, my friends. I have a grudge, first of all, against my Kurultai member, and then secondarily, of course, against the Khazars, who just so brazenly stole my herd. Narratively, I actually absolutely love this. What you need to know beyond this is that indeed Almos, despite everything he did, and that he is accounted for, he didn't actually make it to the Pannonian Basin. We're not quite sure why that is. There are many explanations. For example, a couple of lost battles may have made it so that if he was the Kunda rather than the Gyula, that he may have been forsaken by the guards, so they kill him in a ritual killing to please the guards yet again. The other alternative was that maybe there was a political plot by his son, by King Arpad right here. I'll leave it up to the history books. You can decide whatever the reason is, but that is quite fitting. King Almos the Unrelenting is dead, and Arpad has great ambitions, and he has been the one to actually wage our wars. Let's keep that in mind. Now, our first incursion is going to be into Kiev. I will go ahead and raid him. Ooh, and now we have a cold Zoot. That's not great. It's going to push down how much herd we are making, but I don't think that it matters that much. I am now also trying to get yet another commander trade. It is of course massive here, and at the same time I had a stress break. I mean, it's been a tough time. I am going to get athletic, hopefully. Yeah, wow. That is an amazing trait for him right there. He is a tiger. And it looks as though we're doing well in learning our skill here also. Which one did we get? Winter Soldier? I think that's okay. I'm going to be raiding in winter, and we're not in not winter territory, so fair enough. Gonna make us fast as well. That's the one that I'm looking forward to the most for sure. Before we take proper revenge, let's go on a massive raiding spree. I shall go on yet another adventure and maybe push further west than we ever have. And as we are adventuring, the Moravians are having a civil war. King Yaroplak really needs the siege to go well, and, well, Arpad is hungry. Oof. That's gotta hurt, buddy. And I think this time around we're gonna push into Bohemia proper here. Why not? Yeah, and from Bohemia I think we're going to push north and then east. We're gonna circle back around here. We have decent amounts of loot here, I think. It's not bad. Oh ho ho! I am the handsome. Ha 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 ha! I am very beautiful, especially compared to you, Adam, who is calling me that as I raid him. You know what? He respects the game. He does respect the game. I've been mewing this whole time. It is time for us. We are going to crush our opposition, and we're gonna start with King the Stranger. I will turn him into a tributary. And here it is, folks. Now, I think we're gonna be in the defense here, just because this is my territory, but it is what it is. I will take the fight either way. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that is a fine war banner. King the Stranger. More like King the Loser. Come on over, buddy. I'm gonna... Oh my god. You should have not come on over, man. I actually imprisoned him, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna let him go. There's a lesson here that he needs to learn. I will keep his head as a famed artifact. Decapitation. I meet the Russian ruler's eyes as they wildly roll their last, as his blood seeps into the dirt. If Dir's successor, King Halfdan, were to share this grim sight, he might just learn to fear my power. Oh, that is so cool, right? That you can get an additional plus 200 of offer vassalization here. But no, I am keeping that one, and I'm gonna be carrying that around with me. Oh, and I'm getting scammed. Taltism doesn't count as a steppe faith. Come on, man. It's literally from the steppe. Alright, whatever you say, bro. The war's over, and they have become my tributary. Your father tried to destroy me. Never again. Oh, and isn't this just cute? All the Russians banding together here? Well, I don't really want to go any further north, but good thing that you're getting together. And off the back of that victory, our dear King Arpad the Handsome of course sits down and says, Manasseh II, you like me, but I don't like you, because you took my herd while I was gone. We could do a lot of different wars here. I could even turn him into a proper tributary, but no. I want to humiliate him. Give me 5,400 in herd. I think he took 3,000 or so this is only fair. I'm not doing anything that is outrageous here. So historically, this was absolutely not in the cards for the Magyars. They were looking at the Khazars as a powerful enemy to the east that could at any given moment. And my god, my mother Mutlu has passed away, just old age, fair enough. But back to the topic at hand, the Khazars were a formidable foe, very well organized in a similar fashion to the Magyars and at the same time ruthless. They were the ones that brought the other three tribes to the west. So let me explain this, because we are going to migrate very soon. We have on the baseline the 7 Magyar tribes, and then 3 more. They are ogres in nature, so Turkic, make their entry here after they supposedly, this is how the story goes, rebelled against the Khazars, were defeated and had to leave westwards. These 10 tribes are the Onogur, and the Onogur are, well, what then would migrate into Pannonia proper. So I was hoping the whole time that somebody would migrate into my dear herder here, but apparently no such luck. We are going a whole lot further than anything that the historical Magyars could have done, but to be fair, our Arpad is also a lot cooler. And it is looking dire for the Khazars. It is not just us that is fighting them. No, they are busy on all fronts, and it looks as though a massive army here of the Ayatarid Shuvash has also arrived. It's one of these folks up here, I believe, and yeah, I hope that they fully splinter when we are done with them. Pannonia is now independent in its own right. That is quite something. And I captured his wife. Well. Like, you took my herd. I will now take your wife. And truth be told, I will be a good husband. She will live a much better life than she ever could over in Khazaria. I will crush them. Are we getting Winter Warrior bonuses here as well? Yes. Okay, so this is great. We are fast and, well, they're gonna be dead. Very nice. My god, this dude though. Look at the drip. He looks so much cooler than me. Okay, I wish I was him. And they of course cannot win the second battle either. My friends, it is over. Oh. Thank god it is over. Now let me check this, right? I don't think anybody does that war goal work correctly. I don't think anybody was released. The Khazars exist the same way that they did before. I have to assume that I pushed him down a level and that I'm doing very well in that regard, but man, what is that? I did get the hurt that I wanted out of this, so I'll take it, but it does feel kind of weird. And I think now that it is time for our final march south. I will attack Constantinople itself. And my courtier and friend is writing a beautiful poem about my victory about the Northerners. When red-plumed war comes to his lands, all flashes of iron and shouted demands, his subjects prove grateful, for if they are not, they will learn how it is an empire is wrought. Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna pay you for this, and you know what? And I'm gonna go ahead and make you my concubine. Not just that, I will also actually make you my court poet. Believe it or not, Scylla the Fair is now my court poet. The best part about this is, of course, that I'm stopping by to defeat any random army I find, because I do want that experience, that fame, and so on, and, well, it's easy enough. Oh, look, there's an army out there trying to take away our besieger. Wait a minute, why are they turning around and setting fire to our town? And now we are on the long way. Look at this, there is some real money in this. And more importantly, well, there won't really be any opposition to this. I am now a very fast raider, and I think they're gonna feel it. 148 loot in Constantinople proper. My goodness, that's some money. And I think this is our signal. We have gotten a severe drought. That is truly, truly horrendous. Oh my god, what happened here? The Khazars have taken a bunch of duchies from the Romans. And so let's take in our circumstances. We have been much more successful than the historical Magyars. However, we are foreseeing a White Zoot, or maybe even a Hafsarsen Zoot. And we all know that our father wasn't in the best spirits with, well, the spirits. Meaning, we are probably looking at misfortune going forward. Konrad here has accompanied us for quite some time, and I do trust in his counsel. For this reason it is now that we are deciding to migrate. I will prepare to cross the Carpathians. We have seen exploits down here in the Roman Empire. We have seen it all the way over here. All these stories will forever stick to us. The historical, amazing Magyars. But for now, it is time to leave. It is time to find a better, a safer home. Life on the steppe can be harsh. Recently, though, it has grown even harsher, with many other jealous nomad tribes seeking to persecute us for our success. Pechenegs, Khazars, and more travel from afar abroad to harass our confederation. In centuries past, whole peoples left this life for the fertile fields and weak kingdoms of Europe. I have now handed all of our land out because I hope that when we migrate that these folks get naturally assigned some land. I want to make sure that the Mogia here are indeed migrating as one. We are 7 arrows, and we shall not be broken. In this case, I will migrate to Pannonia against Khan Bagatur right here. He's an Avar, he is Orthodox, and soon he's going to be a part of the history books. It seems that since I was already raiding them, we already started with a couple of people imprisoned here. I captured his heir. Yeah, the Avars are going to go down in history as, well, effectively an extinct people. What do you want me to say? I even imprisoned the leader of their army. It's over. It is all over. Let's see how exactly this goes with who gets what. So I am Hungary now. Okay, all of this was released. Pechenegs makes sense. That's totally fine. Look at them. That's them. They did get land. Not duchies, but they did get land. Oh, that is awesome. So I'm very glad that I kept them. Now, we are all still nomadic, and I will tell you, technically speaking, it would be more reasonable to now become tribal, but tribes do not have this raid intent. And the nomadic adventures of the Hungarians, when they terrorized Western Europe, requires this raid intent. So that, in short, means I'm not going to click this decision, at least not anytime soon. Instead, I'm going to start tearing down everything they have here. I will make sure that civilization isn't quite yet here. So many cities here I can raise, man. I wish there was some automatic, like, thing of doing this. It's kind of annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I didn't realize it would get rid of all of my buildings. Are you... Oh, okay. That's so funny. Okay, so while we wait to build this up again, because the game decided to be mean, I think I'm just gonna take Transylvania over. Bye-bye, my dear Avar friends. Now, this is very, very interesting, of course. We now have a majority Avar territory right there. That is exactly the way it was. It is a very complex thing to take over land, especially when you yourself... Well, you don't really function like a normal type, you know, of vassal relationship there, I guess. Making it so that, hey, having all these people, these leftover folks, I want to call them, yeah, that is historically accurate. And by the way, can I... Ooh, thank you for the free money, my god. I love raising buildings, I do. Ah, and so, look at our beautiful lands. We have arrived. Now, it has to be pointed out, we are not in the steppe. You can push the steppe into Hungary, but that's not what happened, so I didn't do it, which means we're not impacted by this. Getting herd is no longer that easy for us, unless... You got it right, we start raiding massively, and that is obviously what we are going to do here. In this period, it is important to point out that the Magyars, of course, they made friends, they made enemies. At times, they were friendly with Great Moravia, but very, very quickly, in 907, if I'm not wrong there, crushed the Moravians, ultimately ending the entire kingdom forever. And you can see this in Bohemia then gaining Moravia right here, and Nitra becoming a part of the Magyars, or well, of Hungary. At the same time, Balaton right here used to be one of the strongest marches of the Franks, meaning that it was very much in the interest that we wouldn't push into them. However, they actually dismantled various fortifications, and from there on lost this entire east here, and even had all of this constantly threatened, not just for raiding, but even for land taking. And so that has to be said, we are looking at a precarious situation here. This guy would be incredibly hostile towards us because he realizes that we are a threat to the safe status quo. Now, with all that being said, let's head in here. Let's claim, how about Balaton? I just want slightly nicer borders here to the west so that I am not under constant threat of being raided. The actual pacification of all of the Pannonian Basin indeed didn't just happen instantly. It was a long process of people taking over, and then eventually 910, 920, that is when the Hungarians were indeed quite firm. Now, I would want to frame them at that time then as tribal, but again, we can't do adventures, so I ain't going tribal. Let's conquer the rest of Ungvar here. Why don't we go on at least a little bit of a raid? And you know what, before we even do that, I'm going to initiate the conquest of the Magyars. Beautiful, wonderful legend right here. I would like to spread this just in this land. I do think the time is now that maybe we say hello to the Mediterranean Sea. We haven't been there at all, and we are certainly making an entry here. All of these cities just go... Oh, look at Zadar. What a beauty, and what a nice type of loot here, huh? Well, well, well. Croatia, huh? Nice place. It's mine now. Alright, let's move on. If we raid Zadar, I think we should also take down Venice. I cannot cross the sea. Ah, that sucks. Okay, you know what? In that case, we have to go for Ravenna. Maybe even Rome, quite frankly. Oh, look at that. That's good money. And there is Ravenna. Fallen to our hands. Isn't that just beautiful? How about Florence? This has recently been looted. Jesus. Who the hell was here? Was it the Vikings? Well, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just here to destroy. Oh, look at Genoa! Ooh, I gotta get Genoa. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. That's way better than Rome. Let's also just directly raid Milan right here. Maybe I can even capture the king. I wonder what he's doing. He just seems to be fighting like some rebels. I just don't really care about that. I'm not gonna intervene with you there. And then here we come. Rome. It is ours. Oh, fire and blood. Pope Hadrianus. Directly feeling my wrath here. What a beautiful, beautiful throne room this is, right? He got Pulcheria's urn. Okay, well, didn't ask and don't remember. What are we gonna do here? I could simply take some more loot. I could make everything much, much worse here, and we would be getting more county fertility. We don't really have county fertility, so quite frankly, it's not a terrible idea. Because we are having a harder time, of course, maintaining the herd, which is a pretty good depiction, if you ask me, of what happened to the Magyars. They, of course, were in a worse position to keep their lifestyle up, and when they got defeated massively, the king could then centralize authority because the herd was, well, effectively gone. But in this case, you know what? I'll take the prestige. And would you look at this? This right here was our work. The first of the main Hungarian adventures has indeed taken place. And my god. King Arpad the Handsome is being offered the Conqueror trait. I think I have to take it. Oh my goodness. He has become everything that his father couldn't be. He is so much better. He is the plunderer. He is the destroyer. He is the one true handsome Magyar. There are no others. It's only him. And he even raided Amalfi. Okay, you know what? Let's go home here. After the revelation that I am a conqueror, with 1,000 in loot, I think I'm just gonna turn back and we're gonna make our way home. And much like before, much like I punished the Ruthenians for opposing me, I have captured the young King Yaroplak of Great Moravia. We raided him in the past, and oh boy, things aren't looking too good for you. I am just, but I am firm. I am fierce. And I think it is time that I have yet another head. I could technically gift it to her, then she might accept being a tributary much more easily, but there's still this duchy that I need to take over, which means, no. I'm gonna take your head, and I'm going to carry it around with me. These are the two heads of our enemies. And oh my, what do I spy here? High Chieftain Lazar the Hawk of the Bathori Magyars has turned his Magyars Ashari. Oh my goodness. We got some Orthodox folks in here as well. Well, actually, you are not Orthodox. Interesting. Maybe I should turn to Asharism as well. Do remember, do I not own the Sword of Muhammad? I think I do. And look what else I own. A common-looking branch of great religious value. It is voiced to come from nothing less than the Tree of Life, standing on the rock of Alatur. I am unifying the Slavs, the Muslims. A lot happening here, I can tell you that much. It is now, at this most important moment, that I make a powerful, a meaningful decision. What is the future of the Magyar people? We are all feared, we have raided all of the Europeans. What comes next? I will go on a long pilgrimage to understand what the gods actually want from me. And while I'm on that pilgrimage, she wrote a book over the metaphysical... What are you, Immanuel Kant? Jesus, a beautiful tome that shows a deep understanding of scholarly matters as it touches upon subjects such as metaphysical conundrums. Okay, nerd. And let me tell you, I have come to a wise conclusion. But first, I will conquer the remaining parts of Hungary. What the hell? The Khazars turned the Roman Empire into a tributary, Jesus Christ. Oh... No, look at the world. Isn't it sick? The Khazars, once defeated, still stand tall. And you know why that is? Because the gods, my friends, have forsaken us. And I know exactly what we need to do. I, King Arpad the Handsome, conqueror of everything, had a vision. I am one of the descendants of Muhammad himself. In fact, Muhammad told me to start conquering and unify the Ummah. I will turn Ismaili... And then we're going to do a kingdom tier invasion of North Africa. I will reclaim what the Fatimids could not. We are the Arpadids. Close enough, I guess. Many people here will convert, many others won't. Fair enough. I don't really mind. It is up to you, because I will not be sticking around to Hungary. Glory to Allah, brothers. Jakob Egavari, right here. A friendship with him, you know what? That's a good friendship. And now that we are Ismaili, almost the same thing, but not really, I believe that the sword is actually working for us, right? Oh, look at that monthly piety, that's right, I got the Sword of Muhammad, brother. But maybe more importantly, my friend, I will now invade the Salamid Sultanate. It will be a long trek, but it will be worth it. But you know what? I insist on walking this. Much like we walked over here, I'm not gonna take the boat. So I just wanna make sure here that it's always better, to walk. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We shall make the journey. It is, by the way, a 16 months journey, but it will be worth it. I love the idea, and I do want to stress this. Listen, the Khazars are maybe a bit too strong. Sure, whatever. Much more importantly, I love the idea that they would administrate Abydos themselves, because this is where all the trade goes. It kind of is sensible, even though, of course, well, in the grand scheme of things, no. You don't have ocean nomads. I mean, come on. My friends, here we are. I am in Africa. And our very first siege begins now. I don't think that he has a shot. I hope that he doesn't have a shot. But we will find out. Because we will meet on the battlefield. And there they are. And they seem to be afraid of me. I think he's going around to siege, which is a huge mistake. Just to bring that up there, I think that is a massive mistake. What's he doing? Oh god, he's dead. He's gonna die. That is what he's doing here. The moment he's locked in, I will turn around and I will kill him. You did this to yourself. Oh my god. Oh no. It's over for you. And there it is. Hungarian invasion of the Sultanate of Africa. It is over. Now, I do need this title, my dear friend. And now I need to see whether we can make this work. If I move my realm capital to Kairouan, right? And then take this as my primary title. Oh, so it doesn't quite work. Okay, listen, here's a secret that I didn't tell you previously, okay? I actually went and enabled more steppe areas. Do you see that the entirety of the Maghreb is a steppe area? For some reason, though, I'm tied to the Great Steppe. So I have now conquered Africa, but I'm still a member of this struggle. It doesn't really matter because I have all the functionalities except, I guess, migrating, which I'm not gonna do, I guess. But what I will be doing is, I will take Visegrad, right? And we're going to hand this over to somebody that is competent. Wait, I think some of these go independent here. That's not my problem. That's okay. What the fuck just happened? Oh no. He didn't get anything. Oh my god. I have now released everybody in here as a tributary. King Martin is the actual king of Hungary. I hope that he can unify it. We're gonna see how that goes, but I'll be honest with you. Not my problem, okay? You can see it in the diplomatic relations right here. I released this guy fully, that's okay, gave me a stress break. I have a truce with Moravia, that's also fine. Okay, and with that, I have a big Africa... I have a big Africa tributary alignment over here. I decentralized Hungary, good luck to you. I hope you can figure it out. Oh, you made Lotharingia into your tributary, that's cool. And we have arrived in Africa. I am now Ismaili. I will take over everything here, I will raise it, my hordes will spread out, and we will start reclaiming the Ummah, so that we can eventually, hopefully, become the Caliph. Listen here folks, we did a lot of history today and now here comes the nonsense, but that is for another video. If you want to see me as King Arpad the Handsome and his sons of course tame, well, this step, I guess, the alternative step, if you will, then let me know in the comments, leave a like, it helps so much and it is so important. Let's see how it plays when you play in the Steppe Sahara. Folks, I will leave it right here and I'll see you later, alligator.